guys, Ash here, coming at you today, Watcher of Realms. Welcome to the video, guys. I'm glad to have you here. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way today, and thank you for taking a little bit of time, some valuable time out of your day, and chilling with me, talking some Watchers. Today, I want to talk about the last update, and I want to talk about gear and the implications of the last update should have on really all of our accounts, especially if you manage your inventory a bit like yours truly. But first, apropos of kind of nothing here, I'm watching myself, recording myself, and I'm seeing that I'm reminded that I'm wearing my Goonies shirt. My favorite movie of all time. It's not mainly, I mean, I love the movie, right? But it's really for sentimental value. Me and my bro used to watch it all the time growing up. And I remember my parents, I don't know why, but they like made a big deal about it. Maybe it was like a Spielberg flick or something. I'm not sure why, but like when it came out, and that's how old I am, in the 80s, I remember it was a big deal for our household, you know? Anyway, I digress, but what's your favorite movie of all time, guys? I want some recommendations. I'm trying to indoctrinate my son right now, so we just watched it last night. So I'm really in the Goonies Never Say Die mood, and I really want to visit Astoria, Oregon, where it takes place. Anyway, guys, in the game, right? So this last update was a banger. It wasn't like the most massive in terms of feature-wise update. They did go in there and do quite a bit to Guild Wars. Again, I'm really actually enjoying Guild Wars. We're in kind of a neck or neck, so shout out to Three Dogs. Good luck, guys. Good luck. But yeah, we're here in Forerunner Season 2 Beta 2 right now. I'm not sure when it will be accessible, Guild Wars, for everybody out there, but really that's another video for another day. Speaking of more videos for other days, I've been getting a lot of comments like this one, okay? Dumpling Shakes 22. I dig the name. I don't know why. It's probably something like weird and gross, but I'm like, I love that name, Dumpling Shakes. They're like, Ash, do you know what you're talking about, bro? I would love an easy to understand guide for what gear to keep. I have all these max 6 stars, so gear is all I can prove on. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the point that you get to in the game, right? Where you feel like you have a pretty solid roster of heroes, and then it becomes, okay, a progression game. How can I improve my artifacts? How can I improve my gear? Obviously, vis-a-vis gear raids. But at the same time, you have to be able to manage your gear and be able to kind of, I guess, min-max your inventory in terms of gear. In this last update, I made a video talking about the free hero that they gave everybody. I got Silas. Really happy with that. I just maxed him out last night in bed. That's right. I'm that pathetic where I snuck in a little Watchers while Goonies was running in bed. I maxed out Silas, used him a little bit, and so far so good, let me tell you. But did you guys notice the gear swap feature that was added? And really, that's the least of what I want to talk about today. I really want to talk about the new selling feature and how it changes the way that I handle my gear and how it's a massive, massive game changer for me. And it should be for the majority of you guys as well, unless you are already super meticulous on how you manage your gear. We'll talk about what I look for from gear in this game and how my strategy has changed in just a moment. But first, the gear swapping. I got to be real with you guys. I did not picture it to be like this in the game. Did any of you guys? When I pictured gear swap, I pictured, okay, it's equipped on somebody else. I will literally swap it. Meaning, let's say I want to change out his bangle, right? I would just go ahead and I would find one that I wanted. I would get it on, let's just say, I want to take whatever, Comets, right? And then it would go swap, and it would kind of do the hand-me-down model to him. Is that how you guys thought it would work too? It's actually different. And there's definitely pros and cons. I think overall, though, the model that they've added into the game with this UI, I think it's actually better than what I had anticipated in most scenarios. So check it out. We can go here and see all of my builds or all of my gear for all of my heroes. And I can just straight up choose one to flat out swap all the gear for. Now that is really cool, especially in this game, for a couple reasons, okay? Reason number one is there's free gear, swapping, removal, everything, which is so awesome. Reason number two is it's like they're going the extra mile to now make it super easy to, if we have like, we don't have to worry so much about having a decent gear set on all of our heroes anymore in the game, right? It's a free swap anyway, right? So all we have to do now is really, instead of thinking, and we still have to think about this like a bit, but instead of just prioritizing, okay, I need the absolute best build, best gear on all of my most used heroes. That way I don't have to go dig around and swap all the gear and stuff like that. Well, now it's changed a bit. Now we can look at our gear and we can think, okay, I need to have X amount of builds for marksmen, for mages, for defenders, for healers, and for fighters. And then I can just take my favorite, maybe I have 2 or 3 builds per fighter, for example. I can just take my favorite builds and swap them on if I'm really focusing on a particular level, a particular gear rate, a particular area where I'm gonna know I'm gonna use these champions at least for a night or two, right? And then I can just swap the gear right back at the cost of nothing. And the cool thing is they can even show you exactly what the implications will be on your overall attributes for all of these heroes. So they're making it super easy now to focus on just building optimal gear sets. Moreover, I've honestly, like at the point that I am in the game right now, I do focus on my gear set for my weapon and my breastplate, right? But I don't worry. I do have a few heroes built with certain specific sets here on the bangle and the amulet and the ring, right? But now I can actually go in there and optimize, right? I can go in there and much more easily kind of aggregate all of my gear, which I plan on doing tonight, and have the sets actually align so I'm getting those full set bonuses, which actually do make quite a big impact in this game, obviously. But I can make things kind of mix and match a little bit better now, right? So I can take advantage of these. You can see I have like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 5. That's it that I'm using right now. But now I can kind of realign. Maybe I can get 7 or 8, right? And then I can just swap the entire gear set. That is so cool. Imagine that in Raid. And I'm sorry to always mention Raid. I know a lot of you guys, based on the comments, actually found me here on Watcher of Realms channel. Don't even know that I have other channels out there. So I apologize, but I don't know. If you're one of those people, let me know in the comments below. It'd be pretty cool to find, to hear where you found me from. But guys, I say all that just as kind of an appetizer to this video, because the real change that I am making is like this stuff right here, dude. It is insane. It is insane. So now this game went from probably, frankly, the worst gear optimization out of all the games that I played to one of the best with just these simple changes. You see these little things over here now on the gear, right? But really the game changer here, which changes the way that I'm going to manage my gear, manage my account in general, is going to be this little dinky button right here. Confirm selling the following items. Oh my God. It doesn't seem like that should be that much of a game changer, but now I'm finding myself, and if you guys have played a lot in the last couple days, you know what I'm talking about probably, if you've done some gear farming. If you haven't, this will make farming gear in this game, which was a laborious and arduous process previously, it's going to make it night and day. It's going to allow you to actually upgrade your gear to the point that this guy has. I have these max 6 stars, so gear is all I can improve on. It was tough to improve on gear because the user interface sucked before. Now I can easily sell my gear right here. I might look at a piece like, I don't know, let me just find a piece of crap gear here. Okay, you could argue this is crap or not crap, but a 3.5% crit rate is not something that I'm after nowadays. And then there's no attack, but there's no, there's no crit damage, I should say, or anything super attractive, all flat stats. I'm getting to the point now where I'm erring on the side of selling if I'm on the fence. This is kind of a gear tip for all of you guys. You have to get comfortable as you progress your account with selling gear that you previously would have kept, right? So anyway, we can sell it right there. We're making a lot of room here. We're at 964 out of 1,000. I have not been in this position since I first filled up my gear because it was so annoying to sell anything, okay? Now, what we can do is we can still go to the, okay, do I want to sell it? Maybe, but let's go to bulk selling, okay? Now, here's where I want to take a pause and say one important thing. Unless I'm dumb, which I very well could be, I'm missing a very, very, very crucial part of this that I can't believe they missed it, okay? But Moonton always listens to our feedback. So maybe they'll make this change, or maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing. But they need a select only new items, because I don't want to sort out every single time, you know? I want to only new, right? So, I mean, that's the big thing missing right now. That being said, guys, wow. So what am I looking for? First of all, anything attack-based, attack percentage, crit damage, any of those main stats, right? I'm looking for crit rate as a substat, right? Because crit rate, in the early game, I just go crit rate on the Bengal in this game. And then I try to go attack percentage instead, or crit damage. And then I try to find the crit rate in my substats, right? When building nukers in this game. And that's part, to me, is part of the progression from early game to mid game, right? Just getting away from the crit rate on the Bengals and replacing that with attack percentage. That way you can go attack percentage, crit damage, attack percentage, or triple attack percentage on all of our damage dealers. Now, this is especially relevant in this game because we have fighters, we have mages, and marksmen, 3 of the 5 classes that we're going to be using attack percentage and crit damage quite a bit. Now, there'll be times where we use rage regen and attack speed as well, of course, but the majority are going to be those 3 things. If you go to like mabucket.com and you see gear suggestions, 9 out of 10 nukers are going to have those 3. Attack percentage, crit damage, attack percentage on the Bengal, the amulet, and the ring, respectively, right? So I'm always looking for crit rate and just good, you know, stats that I would want on a nuker, right? Usually rage regen, attack speed, attack bonus, etc., right? Or crit rate, crit damage. But now I can go through here, for example, and I can easily, you know, just sell the pieces while, instead of going through here and having to hunt them down, right? Now I can just easily, as I'm going through, as I'm looking for gear, because this is how I look for gear, right? For Silas, for example, I'll go secondary attribute, crit rate. I'll go primary attribute, attack bonus, crit damage, okay? This is how I normally look for gear. I'm going to hide equip just for the benefit of this video. First off, all these old legendary gear, right? Now this one, I don't know, it's kind of borderline. I might keep it just because of all that crit rate, but frankly, no. This is the gear that I need to get comfortable selling now. So all my legendary, in your case, it might be this. It might be epic gear that you still have going around. But previously, it was too stupid, the user interface, where I would have to switch the gear, go to the other screen, find it again, and sell it again. Now I can easily sell it in one spot. So now I'm actually aggregating and sorting and selling this gear that's not good, or rolling it up and selling if I don't like the substats right here. You ever get really crappy rolls? Let's just see what I get here. I don't know. I hate when the crit rate is the last stat. Don't you guys? Don't you guys? All right. I'm not gonna max it out, right? But let's use another example because, all right, here we go. Let's just pretend that I got this crappy roll and I was super bummed out. Instead of sitting on this, which I previously would have done or had to hunt it down, I can just sell it. I can just sell it now, right? So what this affords me to do is now sort as I farm. And then actually, like now, instead of kind of, I used to have to really carve out time to farm in the gear raids because there was no good sorting method for gear. And now there is. So now I'm already in the last 2 days spending a lot more time in gear raids. This is in addition to all the other cool quality of life things and the big changes to the Tide, right? We talked about the peak talents. Really cool that that's unlocked. But most importantly, I mean, now everybody should be clearing a lot more waves in the Tide, right? Because they made it so much easier. They just basically took everything and brought it down like, I don't know, 10, 20 levels of difficulty, maybe even more in some areas. But now we have access to all these extra daily loot, more legendary skill dust, obviously depending on where you are, you know? But you're gonna be able to clear new stages. You're gonna be able to get Epic Heroes Soul Stones. You're gonna be able to get Volca Soul Stones, which you can get, I mean, they might have her all the way to A5 here, right? Very close to. And of course, everything else that comes with Tide progression, right? Legendary skill crystals on certain levels. Everything's going to be a lot easier, right? So anyway, I'm a big fan of this update. I think it's going to make a major impact on all of your accounts, right? So really quickly, I'm going to make a dedicated video on the type of gear that you should be looking for every single class, every single type of hero in the game. So expect that. Subscribe to the channel, turn your bell notifications, all the good stuff, right? We talked about nukers, but other gear that I'm trying to keep my hands on, obviously, is like HP bonus with either rage regen or healing effect substats, right? Because I love, you got to think about this, right? No matter where you are in the game, right? You got to think about, this is the general rule of these games. I'm sorry if this is super basic for some of you guys. I realize that, but there's a lot of beginners, even to the genre, watching this content, right? And there's a lot of new viewers too. It's really important that you just think for a second, who is going to be wearing this gear? I know it sounds obvious, but think about it, right? If it's going to be a defender, what are you going to want there, right? You're probably going to want a lot of defense percentage, HP percentage, and, depending on the type of gear. But think about the type of stats. If you're not getting good rolls on those stats, just sell it immediately, right? And moreover, if you want to be ultra efficient, you get a piece, enhance it to level 4, enhance it to level 8. It doesn't really cost that much at all. And if you don't like the early rolls, if they're crap rolls, like I'm talking like over here, I'm talking about the real duds, just sell it immediately. Go back and sell it. Keep the space. You don't want to be sitting on an account with a bunch of crap gear. It will bog you down. It will prevent you from gear farming. Look at this one, HP bonus. We do have defense and defense bonus and the healing effect down there, so maybe on an HP-based healer, but it's not the best piece, okay? How about this one? This is a good one. Attack, healing, okay, this is perfect, right? So I'm probably not going to have a defender wearing this. Maybe I get a massive, crazy roll in defense bonus, but is it worth all that gold to try to get it? Who's going to be wearing this at this point? Who's going to be wearing an HP bonus percentage on a Bengal with no healing effect, or very little, 3, and then some attack flat stat? The answer is probably nobody, so I'm going to cut my losses and sell rather than spend all the gold to fully upgrade to see what we got on defense bonus, right? So I guess the big takeaways here is sort and sell as you go now that we have the ability to do that, and just think about who's going to actually practically be wearing that gear. Guys, really love this update. Hopefully you guys do as well. I look forward to what is coming in the future. Tons of content on all this stuff in the future as well. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.